off the window. That's why I and so damn many other people I grew up have cancer, and why can't for the longest time Delaware had the highest cancer rate in the nation.
Good morning from Athens, Greece. It is 9:15 here on this Thursday morning, and we have got a very big story to talk about, and that is the collapse of Mario Draghi's government in Italy. They held a second vote yesterday in the parliament, and Mario Draghi, well, his coalition partners, they abandoned him. And he has lost the support of the coalition, and he will now need to step down. His resignation, we will probably get it by this afternoon, maybe by the time this video goes up, maybe tomorrow, but this time Draghi's resignation will be submitted, and the Italian president, unlike the first time where he rejected Draghi's resignation, he will have to accept the resignation, and then we will most likely head into snap elections in the next month. So this is what Bloomberg is reporting. Italy thrown into chaos as Draghi's coalition abandons him. Prime Minister Mario Draghi tried to strong-arm his fractious coalition allies into line, but his plan backfired, and Italy's government is now on the brink of collapse, leaving little alternative to snap elections in the fall and months of political chaos. Quote, "The only way, if we want to remain together, is to rebuild this pact from scratch with courage, altruism, credibility," Draghi told lawmakers ahead of the confidence vote. In the end, three of Draghi's government allies, the populist Five Star Movement, the Nationalist League, and the center-right Forza Italia, abandoned him. Italian parties have now entered campaign mode. The center-right, which acted in lockstep during the heated Senate debate Wednesday, has most to win from an earlier vote. Based on current polls, a right-wing tie-up led by Giorgia Meloni's Brothers of Italy would win a snap election if its members stick together. Even though Giuseppe Conte's Five Star triggered the collapse by withdrawing government support last week, its influence is poised to wane. The party's popularity has plummeted since it entered government, and it would likely lose seats in a new election. Mario Draghi, the unelected European Central Bank, Goldman Sachs, Prime Minister of Italy, is gone. He is finito. And if you want my opinion, I think Draghi is relieved. He wanted out. He sees the writing on the wall. He knows that collapse is coming to Italy. He knows that collapse is coming to the European Union, the collective West, and he wanted to jump ship, and he got his wish. Draghi is not upset about these results. He wanted out, and he is going to be allowed to step down, to resign this time around, and he's just going to melt away, to fade away, while the collective West, the European Union, and Italy collapse. And they are collapsing because of their support of the Zelensky regime and the Ukraine war. Just last week, you had Luigi Di Maio, the foreign minister of Italy, come out with a type of warning to the Italian people that should Draghi's government collapse, well, then Italy would not be able to support the war in Ukraine, and it would mean that Putin has won and the Russians would be celebrating. And actually, this may have not been a warning from Di Maio to the Italian people. This is actually probably a warning from Di Maio to his globalist buddies. But the problem with Di Maio's statement is that this wasn't so much Putin's doing. This was the Zelensky curse, Mr. Di Maio, because every collective West leader that continues to support this war in Ukraine and that continues to support Zelensky, I believe, will find the exit door. They will be replaced. That is the trajectory of things. We had Boris Johnson. We had Petkov in Bulgaria. We have, to a certain degree, Estonia as well. And now we have Mario Draghi in Italy. And this is a big one. Boris Johnson was a big one, and Boris Johnson is going to be my clown world today. Boris Johnson was a big one to fall to the Zelensky curse, but Mario Draghi is a very, very big one. Mario Draghi is like an uber top level globalist. So this is a big deal. Snap elections in Italy in about a month's time is how it's looking to shape up. Let's monitor this story, and I imagine by the end of the day, maybe even by the time this video goes up, maybe tomorrow, we will have Mario Draghi's resignation, and I imagine the Italian Prime Minister will have to call snap elections. And yeah, that is the big news. They wanted regime change in Russia, but you're getting regime change in all kinds of collective West countries. Some of these regime changes won't make a difference, like Liz Truss or Rishi Sunak taking over for Boris Johnson won't make much of a difference. But brothers in Italy, governing Italy, that's going to be big. That'll be a big change if it happens. So that is the news coming out of Italy. That is the big story. Let's move on now and talk about the video intro that you saw, and that was of Bidenopoulos, Greece's favorite son, Joe Bidenopoulos, admitting that he has cancer, or at least that's what that was the gaffe of the day from Biden. I mean, obviously, he, in my opinion, he doesn't have cancer. He was just kind of, once again, talking nonsense, as he always does during his speeches that go off script. But the White House has since come out with a statement saying that that Biden, at one point in time, had some sort of skin cancer or something like that in the past, and it got removed. And they're kind of trying to build this narrative that Biden was referencing this skin cancer thing that he had like a decade ago or something like that. But that was the gaffe from Biden, which everyone is talking about. And I thought it was Putin that had all of the sicknesses and diseases. I thought that Biden was vibrant and vigorous, and he was riding his bike around Delaware, and he was the healthy one, and Putin was the one that was suffering from cancer and heart attacks and what else? Tennis elbow and what else? Stomach flus and all kinds of things. I thought that was Putin. And Shoigu has suffered something like 20 or 30 heart attacks as well. The Russian defense minister, not Biden. Biden was supposed to be the healthy one. Anyway, so that is Joe Biden coming out with a statement that he has cancer, and obviously he does not. At least that's my opinion. I hope he doesn't have anything. But once again, this is the president of the United States. He's completely lost. His approval rating is now at 31%. It is an all-time low. I was going to say an all-time high. It's an all-time low. And Biden is even underwater with his own Democrat Party. This is a poll that was conducted by Quinnipiac University, and it has revealed that Biden's approval rating has dropped to all-time lows. 71% of voters don't want him to run again in 2024, including a majority of Democrats at 54% do not want Bidenopoulos to run again. Draghi is out. Biden, in his own words, Biden has cancer. What a freak show this the collective West leadership has become. I mean, what an absolute freak show. And on the flip side, you have Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia. he seems to be appearing more and more in public, and he kind of has an air of confidence, kind of a very confident vibe to him of late. He is definitely making a lot more public appearances, and he's making a lot more speeches, and he's really sounding off about the economic situation, the war in Ukraine, the energy crisis, all kinds of things. And yesterday, he was speaking to, let me see, I think to like some sort of business forum in Moscow. And he was talking about the end of the unipolar world order and the end of the globalist world order. And this is coming from Summit News. Russian President Vladimir Putin asserted earlier today that the globalist world order is totalitarian and is holding back creative pursuit. Putin made the comments during a forum in Moscow. Quote, the model of the total dominance of the so-called golden billion is unjust. Why should this golden billion among the planet's population dominate others, impose its own rules of conduct? Putin asked. Golden billion. The 1 billion of the collective West, the 1 billion population of the collective West that dictates terms to the other rest of the world population is what Putin is referencing. Based on the illusion of exclusivity, this model divides people into first and second class status and is therefore racist and neo-colonial in its essence, he added. And the globalist, supposedly liberal ideology which underlies it is increasingly acquiring the features of totalitarianism, holding back creative pursuit, free historical creation, Putin claimed. Here's a tweet from this article, which says, a new world is coming, from the speech of President Putin at the ASI Forum in Moscow. The Russian president went on to stress his view that the globalist world order was built off the exploitation of other countries. Quote, of course, this golden billion did not become golden by accident. It has achieved a lot, but it did not only take up its positions thanks to the realization of some ideas, but to a large extent due to the robbery of other peoples, both in Asia and Africa. That's what happened. Putin then proclaimed that Western elites are terrified that their global order is being dismantled. No matter how much Western and so-called supranational elites strive to preserve the existing order of things, a new era is coming, a new stage in world history, and only truly sovereign states can ensure high dynamics for growth and become an example for others, said Putin. Fantastic quotes from Putin. The one guy is giving speeches about how he has cancer and God knows what else, falling off of bicycles, and Putin is talking about the golden billion and the end of the globalist world order. Yeah, I think Putin is definitely correct on the fact that the globalist world order is finished, and boy, are the globalists really pissed off at Putin about that, because Putin took a sledgehammer to it and completely demolished it. But very, very big, bold statements from the Russian president, who is making a lot of public appearances. What does that tell you? And he seems very, very confident, and he seems like he's in excellent health. So before we get to a clown world, should we do a clown world now? We have the news that Syria, by the way, has cut diplomatic ties with Ukraine. This was actually a retaliation for Ukraine cutting off diplomatic ties with Syria last month after Syria recognized Donetsk and Lugansk. That's an interesting story. We also have a new president in Sri Lanka. The Sri Lankan parliament has chosen six-time Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe as the island nation's new president. His predecessor Gotabaya Rajapaksa, fled the country last week and resigned after heated protest over the state of the economy. Wickrey Mensinge's candidacy was backed by 134 out of 223 MPs during a vote on Wednesday. The 76-year-old political veteran has been acting president since Rajapaksa's departure. There are concerns that Wickrey Mensinge's victory could lead to even more unrest, as he's a known ally of Rajapaksa's clan, which most Sri Lankans now blame for their economic woes. Yep. The new guy is always going to be worse than the previous guy. That is the Greek political leadership golden rule. The new guy is always worse than the previous guy, and it looks like Sri Lanka is going to be no different. It looks like the UK is going to be no different. Let's see what happens in Italy. I am very, very curious to monitor what's going on in Italy, and if you get a center-right coalition or a center-right ruling party in Italy, boy, is that going to be a geopolitical earthquake in Europe. So, Clown World. Let's do a Clown World. Why not? And this Clown World is dealing with Boris Johnson. And Boris Johnson, he threw out a movie reference. He said, "Hasta la vista, baby," as he was tying up his final days as Prime Minister of the UK. And outgoing UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson hinted at a political comeback in the future before signing off his last Prime Minister's Questions event with an "Hasta la vista, baby," a famous line from the dystopian sci-fi film Terminator 2: Judgment Day that translates roughly to "see you later." During the event, the scandal-plagued leader dropped further hints, boasting that his brief stint at the helm of the government had seen his mission largely accomplished for now. Johnson had plenty of advice for his replacement, telling the candidate that prevails to focus on the road ahead, but always remember to check the rearview mirror, and remember above all, it's not Twitter that counts, it's the people that sent us here. Boris also urged his successor to stay close to the Americans, stick up for the Ukrainians, and stick up for the freedom and democracy everywhere, while suggesting the new PM cut taxes and deregulate wherever you can to make this the greatest place to live and invest, which it is. Johnson also boasted about how he helped the biggest Tory majority, how he helped get the biggest Tory majority in 40 years, and his huge realignment in UK politics. He also boasted about Brexit and all of these things that really, in my opinion, Boris Johnson shouldn't be bragging about, because he had the opportunity to really make the UK great out of the Brexit victory. He had a golden opportunity to really take the UK to a new level, and he completely squandered the opportunity that was handed to him. So he's boasting about these things, but really boasting about mentioning Brexit and mentioning the UK political realignment, the election realignment, is really to the detriment of Boris Johnson. It speaks to the fact that this guy had all the support in the world, and he freaking blew it. And he blew it on the back of support for Zelensky and the sanctions against Russia, among other things as well, lockdowns and all of these things that we all know too well. So that was Boris Johnson telling the UK people, "Hasta la vista, baby." We're getting a lot of movie references. The reference yesterday to Highlander was, I messed that one up. The actual quote is, "There can be only one." Did I get that right now? There can be only one. from the great movie Highlander with Sean Connery and Christopher Lambert. What a movie that is. And another thing that I want to mention actually is someone in the comments from yesterday's video said that one of the reasons that Russia wanted, and I'm going to go back to the Russia-Canada thing and then I'll sign off, is that one of the reasons Russia wanted the documentation for the turbines may have to do with the statement that Putin made yesterday about sabotaging those turbines. In other words, Gazprom wanted documentations of the repair because they believe that Canada may have not repaired those turbines properly. They may have tried to sabotage the functioning of those turbines and the repair of those turbines. And that is why they are so adamant to receive documentation from Canada in regards to the repair of the turbines. And that plays to the statement that Putin made yesterday, where he said that Russia is not ruling out some sort of Canadian sabotage or improperly repairing those turbines so that gas does not flow to the EU and to Germany. And we're going to find out today, we'll find out probably this afternoon what's going on with the gas flow to Germany via Nord Stream 1. So I find that very interesting that that Gazprom insists on getting the documentation. And I think it backs up, to a certain extent, it backs up Putin's claim that Canada was delaying the delivery of the turbine and may actually try to sabotage the repair of that turbine so that Canada can move in on the LNG market in Europe, if that's even possible. I don't even know if Canada has the capacity to gain significant market share in Europe. But I just wanted to kind of get that out there. That was a very smart comment, I think. And I totally missed that point about the documentation for the turbine and Putin's statements with regards to Canada sabotaging that turbine. I don't know, maybe we're giving Trudeau a little too much credit than he deserves. I doubt that he's cunning enough to sabotage a turbine. Maybe Freeland, I can see Freeland kind of doing stuff like that. But Trudeau, I don't know. I just can't see Trudeau like entering a room of engineers and saying, okay, guys, okay, you see that turbine? Don't really repair it in full. Kind of mess around with it a little bit. Maybe remove a screw or hit it with a hammer or something like that, guys. Let's not give that turbine back to the Russians in working order. I could see like one of the engineers going, yeah, but Mr. Prime Minister, we have to prepare documentation and show that the turbine has been fixed according to standards. Just don't worry about the documentation. I'll take care of that. Just forget about the documentation. Just hit the turbine with a hammer. Hit it a little bit with a hammer. Crack it a little bit. We need to enter the EU gas market, and we just can't have this turbine functioning and allowing Putin to dominate the European gas market. I have to get into that gas market, guys. So just crack that turbine a little bit. Yes, Mr. Prime Minister, we'll crack that turbine. Don't worry, and we won't fill out any documentation. Your plan is diabolically clever, Mr. Prime Minister. Yes, I know. Thank you, my engineering team. Thank you. I am indeed a very, very clever Prime Minister. I am Justin Trudeau. I am king. Anyway, that's the video. I'm going to leave it there. I'm signing out. Check out Alexander's videos. Check out the Duran and the Duran channel, and go to our Telegram channel. Go to the Duran.locals.com, and what else? Rumble, ODYSEE, and BitChute. Look for me there, and please subscribe to me on these other platforms. Take care.